Dear Ann Landis, my husband
Dear
and I
Abby,
are in shock.
I'm extremely upset.
For over 30 years.
My son got married in
Dear
April.
Ann Landis.
We were very
I
happy.
thought
Dear
she
Abby,
said
his wife
I
is working.
was
But she a woman, dear Abby.
She thinks way too much of herself.
Abby.
She had to get married.
Dear Pod.
Drink this in the morning
After a cup of coffee.
after a cup of. Is this a normal thing, or is this just when you come to see us?
Just when I come here.
So what
I normally
happens
don't
when you go to the suburbs? You think that you can just let things go and just let it ride?
I feel that I need to be caffeinated because it's been a long week. So why don't you get off my back?
So you have coffee and then a Diet Coke at 9 in the technically 8 in the morning.
I don't know what the issue is.
How?
Do you have coffee?
Yes.
Okay. So
But
then
coffee is not. Is this Coke or Diet Coke?
it's Diet Coke. Yeah.
What in the Mountain Dew of it all? I like that you say this like this is a normal thing. Like people wake up, roll over, and have Diet Coke.
I
You
know
don't-
my friend Betsy has a Coke in the morning.
A full sugar Coke.
I'm sure.
Okay, Betsy is a super fan of Dear Pod, and I just want to take a moment because now I'm concerned. Betsy,
She's been doing this for years and she's fit as a fiddle. So leave her alone.
because her insides are pickled.
That's fine. She's great.
I am not going after Betsy right
we
now,
share the
so I
same
need you to
birthday,
tap
so
the
we are
brakes.
kind of the same. So leave it alone,
Okay,
sister, mister.
woman, girly, Patty, why are you drinking a full sugar Coke? Is that what you said?
That is a Diet Coke.
But
I'm not going to
hers.
say it again. I think it's a full sugar Coke.
Wow, you guys, I don't understand how your mouth is ready for that in the morning.
But that's okay. And you can have black coffee and then just have
Yes.
fiery diarrhea. I don't have that with said Coca-Cola product.
But did you
Diet
have coffee this
Edition.
morning too?
Yes. And then I had diarrhea. So there you go.
Oh, ow, my lip. Stop it.
So
You're
there you go.
literally splitting my face in half.
I'm going to split your lip. I
I'm
guess
just
I
saying
did.
that I'm concerned.
Well,
And by concerned,
that
I mean
off-
I really don't care.
here, take that off your plate.
Wait.
Take that off your worry
Patty,
stone.
I just want to say
rubbing.
it is 10:30 in the morning and I'm concerned.
Yeah, second Band-Aid tin water.
Oh, yeah, that's so good. That's right. That's a little leftover from our first episode because we filmed about 20 of these.
Thanks for dressing up.
Hey, man, anytime. This T-shirt I have had, I want to say, this is, I got this T-shirt in 2008.
Lies. That looks fresh as a daisy.
It looked
What
like
do you-
this when I bought it.
Oh.
It's supposed to look.
Wow, you and your mom are bargain shoppers.
Let me
$40 rings, a shirt that doesn't decompose.
Look, as long as it don't got holes in it. I'm at that
Right.
point in my life where I'm just becoming an old man. It's like I hate people and I wear clothes until they just drip off my body.
I have a note for that.
Okay, I have a note for your Diet Coke, so go ahead.
I have a neighbor who is a hoarder. Didn't start out that way, but her husband is sick, has been sick. You don't feel bad for him. He's a horrible human being.
Okay.
She's got a braid that rivals Crystal Gale's.
I can't with an old woman
She's
braid.
maybe, I don't know how old she is. Periodically, we'll hear some scraping in the hallway, and it's her removing objects in order for her to get out of her apartment, and then they'll reside in the hallway.
This is my biggest nightmare.
Every other day that I see her, she's wearing an article of clothing that I have thrown away maybe 10 years ago.
Oh no, I thought you meant you actually like threw it away and then she grabbed it and put it on herself.
I did. That's exactly what I just said.
Are you joking? Wait a minute. Shut up. Like your hypercolor t-shirt is like on
Right.
her body.
Right.
So
And
she's
she'll-
going through your trash?
Yes. And
Shut
sometimes
up.
she'll be wearing shoes. One would be mine. One would be
No, it's
Marx's.
not.
They're not matching. So the other day, she asked for some help. I've just finished walking my dog. I come in. She asked help moving this bookcase into her apartment. It's now 11:45 at night.
Patty.
And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to have to put my dog in my apartment because I don't want her to get lost in your abyss of trash.
But then then all of a sudden you'll see Jenny like 10 years from now
Right.
and she'll be her dog.
Fossilized. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I put Jenny in, and she's instructing me how to put this back. And this 70-plus-year-old woman is instructing me how to lift this bookcase and put it into her house. I'm like, no, I got it. I
So
don't
now
need
you're seeing inside the hoarder house. Had you seen inside here before?
I've seen it before when her husband fell and I needed to pick him up off the floor.
Excuse me?
And I immediately set myself on fire and drank bleach for a solid week.
There's not enough bleach.
There is not. And
This is insane.
So I pushed this thing in and she's like, no, you got to do it right. And it literally fits right in a
small hole that they've carved out.
Correct.
Of all the bullshit to shove.
Yes, to shove this thing back into the hoarding situation.
Because here's the thing about the hoarders. It's almost like they have a hardware store where it's like they know where everything is. And they know how everything just fits into the Jenga puzzle piece.
Yes. And at the same time, I'm like, this should be illegal.
It should be.
And it also should be documented because if there's a fire, I know where it's coming from. And it's 3 doors down.
Wow.
Right?
This is amazing.
And she's not the only one in our building that I've seen that has this type of situation, which is
oh, no, I know.
terrifying.
Well, the last apartment I lived in before I got the fuck out of the city, in which, by the way, take a note. Everybody get out. Everybody get out. I don't understand why any of us are here if we're not billionaires and can afford a lifestyle that
Thank you so much. I'm not going anywhere, but continue.
Okay, you're not getting out of the city anytime soon.
Moving out of the city permanently?
Yes.
Where the fuck would you like me to go?
You have a house.
That's 2 hours away from the city.
I know.
And then how am I going to pay for this house? Okay.
Touche.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you.
Keep going.
I raise you.
Keep going.
Before I moved out of Queens, you don't know
so
what
you didn't
happens.
really live in the city?
Oh, no, I never lived in Manhattan.
Okay, so then you
I
really
couldn't
can't.
afford it.
So you really
except
can't.
for the one when I first
So you
moved
really
to
can't.
Manhattan.
So you really can't.
Excuse me, sir.
So you really can't talk about.
Excuse
you can't really
me.
talk about living in the
that
city
actually made
if you
my,
lived in Queens.
That made my ass pucker.
Thank you so much.
Like
Thank
that.
you for my TED talk. You didn't ever.
I lived in when
didn't
I
ever?
first moved to the city. I lived in the Spanish Harlem. I lived in Spanish Harlem.
How
we
long?
talked about that for a few months.
Okay,
Did
so
any
you
of us
didn't
live
the
in
city.
any one place for an extended period of time when
I
you live
live
in the city?
I've lived there for 11 years. In
Well,
the same
then
apartment.
you need to see
And
somebody.
I've lived in the same area for about.
That's amazing. Well,
20
aren't
years.
you a hero?
Yep, I'm just
Because
saying.
I lived in Queens.
So
and
just
when,
don't come at me
Excuse
with
me,
like
can I
everyone
ex-
should leave. I visited once. I'm a New Yorker.
Can I finish my Queens story?
Well, yeah, the Queens apartment that
yeah.
you lived in for 2 months.
The Queens apartment. So you never know what happens behind a closed door in Manhattan.
That's
Which
right.
is, or New York. Sorry, everybody. You
Right.
just don't know in
different.
any of these places. And I walked out and somebody's door was open and I actually caught a glimpse. The amount of hoarders that live in New York and surrounding boroughs is terrifying because I saw in his apartment and there were these really long hallways and he had clothes hanging on either side from the top and the bottom. So it's almost like there were 2 racks of this long hallway, all closed. Like you would have, it's like sifting through the most nightmare rack at TJ Maxx. You're just sort of like pushing your way through. It's almost like you've gone to a costume clothing company and you have to get through the aisles to get there.
Swimming through a tsunami.
Yes, of t-shirts and
Shit.
jackets.
Yeah.
I was like, and I think that thing he had died in there. So they were taking him out. But now
It was a sale to die for. And he did.
these clothes are to die for. Literally because you're under a pile of them,
You
sir.
can wear him.
And they have suffocated you.
I love this bearskin rug. No, that's
That's Paul.
That's Diane.
The amount of hoarders in New York it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Something happens, it breaks people's brains. But I'm more obsessed with the fact that you're throwing things out and she's taking them and using them, and then you're seeing your suit from 1995
Correct.
that you wore to
see it
your
all the
bar
time.
mitzvah. I know you're
All
not
the time.
Jewish, but that's the most amazing part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That you're just seeing your old fashioned show up on this woman.
And I think she's been warned before, you can't do this. I mean, she has
Oh, because now it's repeating outfits, and that's just tacky. That's the
and
bridge
it's
too
she
far.
has no one can get in there to service the apartment. So she has an
No.
original stove from when she moved in.
Oh no. Like
Things
the
like that.
1920s
Right.
stove. It's like we actually have to when we dry our clothes, it's over the radiator.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know. And any little, there's this apartment has not been updated. So That's
you
when
think
that's
an
when things-
electrical fire is going to be the end of you?
not for me, for her.
Well, she's
for
going to
sure.
run out with your hypercolor shirt on and your your hammer pants at 2 a.m.
Oh.
going doing the shimmy. And if you're not watching us on
Can't
YouTube,
touch
you're
us.
missing an act out right now. It's that little sideways shuffle. Yeah. YouTube.com/DearPodOfficial. That's a perfect way for me to say, welcome to Dear Pod, the comedy advice podcast. I am your host, Carl, the guy who lives next door.
And I'm Miss Piggy.
And we're coming to you from the Maha'a Bar in the beautiful Pineapple Ranch. Can I hear it? That's right. No hoarding here, ladies and gents. No hoarding here at all. It just looks like we're in an Applebee's. It happens to be in my home. You got to keep it under control, baby.
Yes.
But you don't have to keep yourself under control. We are bringing you comedy advice every week, all weeks. So follow us on your social medias at Dear Pod Official, on your Insta, on your face, at Dear Pod on TikTok. Check out our YouTube page where all the funny is really happening, because we're hot. Oh my God. And I've got 50 pounds of makeup on right now.
Sure.
At
Same.
youtube.com/DearPodOfficial. But here's the thing, y'all. We are taking your advice questions. So call into us. We are taking voicemails. Leave us a voicemail if you would like your answer questioned,
What's
or your
this?
question answered. That's
We're
me
taking-
making
oh
a
my
phone call.
God.
Oh my God, I'm so sad. Call us.
Oh, we're taking
917-887-6111. Okay, I think that's the song now, everybody. I think you do it enough and it's set in stone. Call us 917-887-6111 and also email us dearpodadvice@gmail.com. If you write in, if you call in, we will attempt to answer your questions on the air. We're unqualified, we're unprofessional. However, this week it's a mini-sode. You found a mini-sode that we've just spent 10 minutes of that mini-sode talking about a woman who was taking Patty's clothes and wearing them.
Right.
Like she's not like you're not gonna know. Ma'am,
Oh,
those
I
are
know.
boxer shorts.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt from Tag. Okay?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing
Those are
my
some
banana
bloody,
hammocks?
Yeah, those are some bloody Hanes.
Ew!
I threw them out. I threw them out for a reason.
Those
Okay.
two exist underwear without the elastic waistband because that random stripper ripped your waistband.
Which should be used as a handkerchief
So
now.
go back and listen to those episodes because we have 1 million of them on Apple Podcasts. That's right. Check it out. Apple Podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. Smash the subscribe button. And finally, most importantly, our Patreon page, patreon.com/DearPodOfficial, where for a mere $5 a month, you can become a subscriber, get extra special tidbits in your inbox every week. And maybe you'll get some of Patty's leftover clothing.
Maybe.
If there is not a fire in this apartment building, ladies and gents.
We'll see.
So this week we have a mini-sode for you. We're switching it up. We're going back and forth. You know, when this pod first started, we were all about Ann Landers and Dear Abby, old school advice
We
articles.
talked about what you're doing
Which,
right now.
I'm sorry, I've said too much is what he's saying. He's saying say less, like the kids say, say less.
Payless.
Pay less. So we have one article
BOGO, buy
this
one,
week.
get one.
BOGO. It's FOMO. YOLO.
Sofo. Sci-fi.
I thought YOLO was J-Lo.
Might be. I don't know.
It might be. I don't know. YOLO. Oh, is that J-Lo?
J-Lo.
Yeah.
Jello.
YOLO looked great at the Met Gala.
I feel bad when if she ever gains weight. They're like, J-Lo went from J-Lo to Jello.
Jello.
Am I right, queens?
It writes itself. So we have an advice article this week. That's an old school. What is this? This is from Dear Abby. Hit me.
This is the Journal News, Hamilton, Ohio, Sunday, September 30th, 1973.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Abby, my husband is 33 and I am 26. We've been married for 4 years and have always had a fulfilling marriage. We are both very attractive people.
Oh, get over yourself.
We are both very attractive.
I am hot.
Our sex life lacks nothing. And I should add, I am very broad-minded and don't mind doing whatever it takes to please my husband.
Freak off.
The problem is, the more I do the things he wants, the kinkier he gets.
Okay.
Now he wants to get into group sex. He keeps bringing these people over who are into that sort of thing.
He's
and they're
breaking
trying
up
to
with
get
you.
me and they're trying to get me involved in it. Abby, I would do practically anything to please my husband, but this group thing turns me off. He is very persistent and says I shouldn't knock anything until I try it. How do you feel about this? No name or town, please. Signed, Old-Fashioned Girl.
You shouldn't knock anything, but these boots. Go on.
Dear girl, to me, the sexual expression of love is a beautiful private thing between two people. Using sex to achieve the ultimate in a thrill, which could conceivably be including the whole neighborhood, is for animals. I'll not only knock group sex, I'll knock wood against it becoming a popular national pastime.
We need to stop using the word knock in this article, please. There's a lot of knocking going on, knocking boots, knocking nasties, knocking bits and pieces.
Correct.
How apropos that you whip this article out, that you whip it out. Well, right now the Diddy trial is in full effect. So by the time this article or this episode goes to air, it could very well be over.
Correct.
But man, have you been reading about that?
I have, and that's why I picked this
You
article.
picked a group sex article. First of all, I do think this is this husband's way of breaking up with her.
I don't know.
Not breaking up with her as much as like having your cake and eating it too. It's like we should have a threesome, but we should just have it with girls who are blonde, named Carol.
And there's no men here, so there's really no benefit for you.
You don't win in any of this. Okay,
Right.
It doesn't turn you on. It's just 50 people. I read this
It's
article and I
upside
get
down
a
on the swing.
UTI.
Yeah.
You know. A friend of mine accidentally got invited to a swinger party.
How do you accidentally? You have to prepare.
No, this person was not prepared, or maybe they just didn't know how to read all the signs. Because I feel like there's a lot of like code. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never been invited, and frankly, I'm offended.
Well,
I would be so much fun at a group sex party. Oh my God, what a riot!
well, you'd be the stand-up.
Exactly. I'd just be
And then you're
offering.
like-
I'd be roasting it.
You'd come out and you're like, I don't know why. I'm just dying out there. No one is paying attention to me.
People are making a lot of groaning sounds, though.
Like,
There's
no
not a
one
lot of
laughed-
laughter,
No
but
one laughed at my Jimmy Carter joke.
I know, and the smell was terrible in there. I
I
can't
don't
tell
know
you.
what that is.
My Jimmy Carter joke.
That
Maybe I need to
always
get rid of
lands.
it. Maybe get that out of the set, you know?
You really have like a come to Jesus after like, I don't know. I just.
You know, Waze works in every other room. Why
I mean,
is that
if-
joke not
if
working
Bette
in
Midler
here?
could sing at the bathhouse, why can't I do stand up?
At an orgy.
Right.
I mean,
Jesus.
everybody
I
has
thought
to have.
that was my thing.
Exactly. Everybody's got an angle.
I could not
or a
imagine
lot of sharp angles.
being at like a sex party, and first of all, having a stand-up comedian and be like, "This is definitely not doing anything for
That was
me."
like doing stand up at a wedding, which I've done before. I would rather do it at a sex party.
I would like to see that, but I
Okay.
cannot imagine being in a bathhouse and then having Bette Midler sing to me. I'd be so confused of why are we here? I thought we were here to have sex, and all of a sudden I've got wind beneath my wings behind me, and I got to write my dad.
Like you're in the middle of just taking
Yeah.
up the tailpipe. And all of a
You're just
sudden
like-
oh, industry, whatever has become of me. Did
Hey,
you
you're
hear,
really
"Oh,
hot. I like your
industry"?
eyes. I like your smell. Your skin's really great. Wow, that's a huge dick. And
Is
then
someone singing The Rose?
some say love. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. No, it's not you. No, it's not. It is a river. I just can't.
It's just the sounds of people's
Just
balls.
And then just like,
like,
and then slowing down, and then you just hear sobbing in all of like the little rooms.
did you ever know that you're my hero?
Like the time, like I go to the bathhouse, but I never come because
Bette Midler's there.
Bette Miller's always singing The Rose or some shit. I think the last time we were
I'd
there,
kill for an up tempo.
she did the entire Beaches soundtrack, and it's great. I can probably get off to,
And
I
she
still got my
invited
health or
Barbara
something.
Hershey.
Right,
Which
for
nobody
what?
brings a sex party down faster than Barbara Hershey.
I mean, I love her lip work, but I'm getting my own lip work, if you know what I mean. And she's not doing it.
Yeah, I'm literally going back in my head trying to remember the details of the story because when they told it to me, first of all, these two, there's a couple. I say friends, it's really acquaintances. Like, I didn't really know. I'm trying to distance myself from these
Yeah,
people.
I get it.
I'm not saying names, but like, I also was like, they they're not a good-looking couple.
Sure.
I was like, who invited them to a sex party? And like, I can't get arrested to go to one of these things. And I was like, first of all, you got an invitation to somebody. Change the code, up the ante a little bit.
Sure.
And they walked in and like the slow realization that it was like a key party.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have to talk to them and get the details and come back to you guys on this, because I remember laughing so hard that they didn't realize that like sex was starting to happen around them, which would so be me. If I got invited to a group sex party, I'd be like,
why did you cook deviled eggs if it's a sex party?
You got to be real specific about your buffet at a sex party that you're offering.
A gay man's buffet at a sex party is just
cocktail wieners.
No, Tic Tacs and some water. That's all that you're getting. There's nothing else.
The gay man's buffet.
There's nothing to
Poppers
eat here.
and Tic
That's
Tacs.
right. There's nothing to eat
That's
here.
the point.
Except me.
And
Move
water.
on.
Oh my.
Where's the buffet table? It's right here. Kevin, Ken, Steve.
Where's the buffet table? You're looking at it,
That's
baby.
right.
And if
That's
you're not
right.
watching us on YouTube for that act out, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
missing.
we've got Listerine and water and air. So
And get comfortable. Yeah. And some Chardonnay, but that's
really-
for afterwards.
I'd really like something to eat. Here's Gary.
You Sex buffet.
No nachos. Get out of here. Get
But
out
see,
of here.
straighties don't play the same game. So like at a straight person's group sex party, the offerings are probably going to be more substantial,
Yeah,
which
it's
and
like
because
what-
they don't know any better, so it's probably going to be heavy foods. Like they think they have to
Like they're at
carb
the
load for this.
Flintstones. It's
Exactly.
like the Flintstones Thanksgiving. It's
You
just
throw
like
a rack of
brontosaurus
ribs.
burger. Yeah, a rack of ribs and flip the car over.
And flip the girl over.
Like, oh, I'm so full. Who wants to blow me?
Oh,
Nobody.
No.
No.
Schlitz
Did
beer.
you just have manwich? I did. Your breath is terrible and your cum
Oh,
smells.
God. A
Thanks.
straight person sex
And then putting your
buffet.
clothes back on. That was really great. Had a great time. Steve!
Franks and Beans night.
They
at
can't
the
open the
sex
windows because they
buffet.
don't want their neighbors to know that they're having a sex
There
party.
can't be a seafood
just
option.
yeah.
I mean, keep it clean, y'all. He eats real clean.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a meal in months.
Oh my God. I have to go back and ask them a question and just figure out because
One
they
question?
Ju-
Just one.
Write in your questions for my sex party friends, dearpodadvice@gmail.com. We don't even want advice at this point. I just want to talk about the sex party. I
Is
mean,
that French onion soup? Are you guys out of your... I would like to be the gay man that just goes in there.
it rips it
just
apart.
like the fly in the wall. You have... Wait a minute. French onion soup.
I would.
Spinach artichoke dip. Are you people
Really?
out of your mind? Sliders? Manwich sliders?
Garlic shrimp?
Chili?
Really? Even coconut shrimp.
Caesar salad. You're going to munch through some Caesar salad and then put your mouth on her mouth. Okay.
A flourless chocolate cake? A flourless chocolate cake. I'm just saying, this actually might be a good market for you because you're an organizer.
I don't want to organize that.
Come on. You'd be
I
so
would go up
good
and
at
like, we're gonna
organizing.
We're going to take... What do you think of my setup?
Oh
Who's coming? Well, it's just all my straight friends. It's a key party. Okay, what food are you...
So what are we... Also, you'd have to think about, like, covering certain furniture, saran wrapping
I'd be like,
stuff.
I'd be like, okay, this would be Father of the Bride. We're taking everything out of your house. We're going to put it over there.
And here's Kelly, what's her name, in a tent in the backyard.
Kelly, yeah, what?
What's Kelly?
Kimberly Williams?
Kimberly, I knew it was a K name. I knew that.
Kimberly Williams.
Of course you do that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to erect a tent
Uh,
in your backyard is a sex party. That's good. Keep it all outside.
oh, that's the thing. Then,
Yeah.
you know what? Everything's outside. And then you just have a giant sound machine outside
Garden
so your
party.
neighbors can't hear it.
Yeah.
And you can just shit all over the lawn. Because you're
Oh.
going to if you're having food at your sex party. That just sounds awful.
This is my favorite thing I think we've
I think I just
talked
had
about.
like cereal. Oh, what is there anything to eat? Yeah, it's what I give to my kids Just bowls of dry Cheerios.
I would not eat for days before a sex party. I mean, like, you got to keep it liquid diet. Also, more for like, yes, I understand like the biology of it. But for
Yes.
me, it's just pure ego.
Sure.
I
but
need to trim
don't-
down a little bit and sculpt up.
I just don't understand food and anything like that.
What would you do if Marcus was like, let's do this? I would laugh so
Well, I'm
hard.
also very curious about many things.
I
I've been
know.
I've been in so many scenarios where I'm like, I shouldn't be here, but I'm
I'm
going to double
here.
down
Wait.
for the story.
Name one.
Well, there was a one cab driver that wanted to pull over so we could have sex.
Wait.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
So you
Are
did
you
it.
sure? No. But I kept, first of all, I had to get to my destination. Right? So you have to keep the story kind of going. Like, well, maybe, why don't we just get to 48th Street and we'll figure it out. By
I
that
can
time, I'm
walk.
already home. You know? Sure. Sure. No, that sounds great. I love that. What is this scent in your car? It seems like
Pine Sol?
decomposition and right guard and cigarette. And a
I
little
like
bit of
that you had to keep
gas.
playing along until you got far enough to
He's
where
like-
you could at
he's
least
like,
walk.
Are you sure? I'm like, I think I'm good, but I don't know. I'm just on my phone. I'm just playing games on my phone. Like, no, but just maybe we'll like.
Oh, wow. Was he an Uber or was he a regular cab
It was a
driver?
regular cab
Wow,
driver.
that's more offensive and incredibly bold,
He's
sir.
like, I can stop the meter. I'm like, please don't. Just I wouldn't stop the car either.
I mean, for the prices you pay in a cab now, he's going to stop
Well,
the
this
meter?
was like a long time
But
ago.
would he start it back up again after you did what you did?
I guess it all depends on how well I did.
Tell me another story. What are your other stories about doubling down? I know it's 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm going to sit. Jesus. Go on.
Well, there's this one. There's this one time in Chicago. I think maybe I told you about this absolutely hammered man, and I was like sort of in the closet, and I
This
was at-
sounds familiar, but keep going.
right.
Okay.
And the guy that like had an accent, and then he didn't have an accent.
Oh, yeah, like the floating accent. Or
Right.
like now you're British, but now you're
Right.
from
And
Scotland. Now you're Madonna.
I've run into him 3 different times, like months and months and months apart.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't remember me, but he would just like talk to me, and he was like, I'm like, I think you're attractive, but I can't tell. I definitely know that you need a mint.
Wow.
But he's like flirting with me, like no one at that time.
But now he's
did.
from the South, and now he's from,
right.
now he's
he
Cockney.
had a British accent, and then he didn't have it, and then he was like kind of coming on to me, and then not. I'm like, this is so bizarre, and he's such like a Monty Python like character.
So now you just can't look away
Right.
because, yeah, now
So I'm
you're
like,
intrigued.
What is happening? My friend's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good. Like, what is happening?
Okay.
Just because he's like, cheer. Everything was like, every 5 seconds, it was like, cheers then. Cheers. I'm like, I literally just closed my tab. Cheers.
What if it was Crocodile Dundee this whole time?
It could have been. That's
So-
a knife.
Okay. Was there any other circumstance that you want to tell me about? Because the cab driver's pretty good. And
Well, then
share
I
one
did.
more.
And then he's like, do you want to go home? I'm like, sure. So this was like,
It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. I'm going to do it anyway.
I know I live a block away, but sure, I'm not going home. I'm going to take you to my house.
No.
So we got in a cab.
Okay.
And he is like obliterated, and I'm just like, I don't know. I think I was bored. I wasn't that drunk, and I was just like, I just want to see what this is, because
Yeah.
I know he's not going to kill me, because he's not going to kill me.
How do you know?
I just had a feeling it wasn't. Well, first of all, I'm in a cab.
Why do
and
you think he's using all the different accents? You
I
can't
don't
pin a
know.
guy down.
I don't know. We are also near Second City, so he could have been an actor. So anyway,
Rehearsing.
so he's like, okay, and he's like hammered. He's like, let's go to my house. I'm like, great. So he walks across the street. He walks across the street. I get in the other cab and I hightail it home. I just wanted to see what this was all about.
You never went back.
No.
Oh, Patty, see, now here's where you and I are different. I would have followed the story all the way into the house, and I probably would have dated him for another 5 months.
Yeah, no. I just wanted the experience of whatever this nonsense, how long this charade
Was going to go on.
Like with the accents and like the really like inappropriate things that he was like
Saying to
talking
you?
about. Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. While in front of like a cab driver. Like these are intimate things that you're saying. I'm like,
The
there
things
is
that
someone
cab
right here.
drivers have probably heard. I mean, HBO
That's
made a whole series
Taxi
about
Cab
it.
Confessions.
Exactly. So, okay, do you have any one more? That
I think that's.
You think that's good? Are you sure?
I think I can't rattle this cage.
I want
for
you
another
to
story.
I want you to go back and think about that and bring me back another story. And then I want us to go to a group sex party. We don't have to do anything. I just want to see what's going on.
I don't think anyone's going to invite the two of us together to this party, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
917-887-6111 if you want Patty to go to your group sex party. We cannot promise that we will take part in it or that we'll even take their clothes off. I could never be around you and like take my shirt off.
I definitely would not be doing that.
Okay, so we're going to stay fully clothed, but we will come to your group sex party only if we can offer commentary and discuss it on this podcast at some point. This is a comedy advice podcast, by the way, so I'm advising you to invite us. Isn't that how it works?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess so.
dearpodadvice@gmail.com. Email us, call us. I want to go to this party.
Oh, actually, I do have another one. So there was this other time. Again, I am semi-closet. I went to this bar, and I think I was with my friend, and she left. And I was like hanging out, and there was this attractive guy. I'm like, well, maybe something will happen.
Okay.
And he was, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, everyone went from like dancing and drinking to there's a dance off.
Oh no!
And
Wait.
he's part of this dance off.
I hate every second of this.
I don't actually know what's happening. This is not like So You Think You Can Dance or Say the Last, any of those.
It's like the shittiest bat mitzvah that you've ever been to, and a circle is formed.
It's the shittiest like rom-com team movie because this doesn't happen in everyday life.
A dance-off doesn't break out
in a gay bar, because at the gay bar you're there for two things: drinking and hooking up.
And Bette Midler.
And Bette Midler, possibly,
if you're lucky.
Right, and then just endless letters to your family after that. He's doing this dance off, and I'm not like, oh, he's hot. I'm like, this is not what I want to see. I don't want to see this. You've just pulled the curtain back. But somehow, because I had low self-esteem, I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
So eventually we started.
Make it work.
Yeah. We'll make this work.
Okay.
And we're like grabbing drinks. And he's like, it'd be a great idea. We should go downtown, and we should check into some whatever hotel. I'm like, what?
Oh.
And I'm like, what? But it seemed like fantastical. It's
but
like,
it was after he had already done like the electric
Let's
slide.
go to the Taj Mahal and like run naked with the Dalai Lama or some shit like that. I'm like, what?
What was the hotel? Do you remember?
It was the Drake Hotel. I'm like, I'm not going to the Drake. It's, first of all, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it is 2:00 in the morning, and they're going to give us a room at the Drake. Just the practicality. Sometimes when I'm drunk, practical breaks through, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like we get in the cab, which is not that far from.
No, so you're really doing this now. You're going
because I wanted to like,
see where the story goes.
Yeah.
If you're down to go to the Drake,
and so we're going there, and like, listen. Like, I'm not going to go embarrass myself. Because also when you go into a hotel, it's not like gay lighting. We've just gone from gay lighting to like, welcome to the hotel experience. And you're underneath like, these
You're
hot
in
lights.
Costco.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, no. It's like, let's go over there, man. And it's like this a gazebo that overlooks like Michigan or whatever. I'm like, I don't really like, because I don't actually really like gazebos either. But
nobody
like,
likes
right.
a gazebo.
So then we go over to the gazebo, and I'm like, he's still kind of hot, but this is so weird and whatever. And he's like kind of like making out or whatever. And then it happens.
Oh no.
And then that's when he like,
oh no.
So keep in mind, I'm on my gay diet because I've recently accepted who I am. So I'm basically
it's like poppers and laxatives.
I'm basically only existing on Diet Cokes, Diet Snapple,
Twizzlers,
and I'm running about 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
I maybe have a meal and a half.
Oh
right?
my God. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm also very concerned because I don't have the gay body, blah, blah, blah. So then he grabs me and said, what's this all about?
No. Excuse me?
Yeah. And that's how that
The man who just did the Macarena in the middle of a gay club is judging you?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. At one point I'd gotten down to a dangerously low weight.
Okay. Because of him?
No, because of just like, I didn't, just gay pressure. And, I don't know. I didn't know how to work out. I didn't ask anybody, blah, blah. So
you went to
the
Lucille
fact-
Roberts
right.
every day. And
so
you were
the
like,
fact that it's kind of like the worst fear could possibly be realized.
from the worst guy
Right.
ever.
Also at 3:00 in the morning, like nothing is valid at 3:00 in the morning.
Tell me that you got up and you got your bag and you were like, that's it. I'm going to the Drake. Goodbye.
Yeah, I've got a suite up there that you don't know about.
It's
Get-
also really hard to storm out of a gazebo.
Well, yes, because there is no door.
There's
and
nothing
then you
to
have
slam.
to keep walking, and then you have to do the.
Because I can still see you.
Yeah, I'm
well,
fast
it's a gazebo
walking.
in the field.
Turn around.
There's no walls. There's nothing barrier.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so what did you do?
I went home. I'm like,
You
you're a
literally-
fucking asshole, and I left. And then that began a 10-year journey of body dysmorphia and anorexia.
Which
nervosa.
still hasn't stopped to this day, everybody.
Absolutely
Comedy
not.
advice, comedy podcast. Always comedy
But
podcast.
I wanted the story of what this was going to. I mean, I'm sure it's kind of dangerous now. But
Yeah, I think.
I
but
don't
also,
recommend any of
Here's
these.
the thing: you're safe in a gazebo because everybody can see in.
right.
So I don't think anybody's murdering anybody in a gazebo.
I mean, he could have shot me dead.
That could have been a safe place, though. It could have. No, I'd be more nervous at the Drake because so many murders happen at hotels, but not one
That was
murder
never
has
going to
happened
happen.
in a gazebo.
First of all, I lived like, at that time, I lived like a hop, skip, and jump away from the. I don't know why I was going to check in.
Is the Drake like the Ritz?
Kind of.
Oh,
well,
my God.
Ish. Not really not anymore. But like,
Fantastic. We should go to the Taj Mahal.
like I was like, it just. I'm like, why can't we just do like what normal people do? Like go back to one of our
He's
homes.
like, let's go to the top of the Sears Tower and we're gonna bungee jump
Yeah.
off the side.
I'm like, what am I in a Vince Vaughn movie? Why am I? But I was like, this is.
We're gonna drive to Vegas
I
tonight.
guess for a while I was like, if this wasn't going to be like a hookup or whatever, I wanted to see what kind of National Lampoon story was going to happen out of this. I had nothing else to do.
I think the theme of this week's minisode is follow the story, everybody.
Until
And
they kill you.
Until they murder you. But here's the thing. If you can storm out of a gazebo with your pride intact, you've done the right thing.
Yeah, it wasn't Ralph. It wasn't Ralph and Liesel.
No,
all.
not at all. Nothing good ever happened in a gazebo, everybody.
I must have done something not good.
Oh, that's the best way to end this. I must have done something wrong.
Something doesn't seem right here. Let's play along.
Oh, Liesel, what's this about?
This episode of Dear Pod is mixed and edited by Jim Ferris and is a property of Pineapple Ranch Productions.